Hey, I'm Courtney Waterman, your tutor. Lover of anime, manga, and math. And you just tuned into another session of Tutor Me Sempai. Welcome back, everyone. Today we're jumping into a 9th grade topic, finding your x and y intercepts from linear equations. Now, if you're new to my channel, I'll be putting timecodes in for this video in the description box below, so use that to skip ahead to whatever part of the video you think is most interesting. As always, if you have any questions about what you see today, or even on homework, you can always put in the comment box below, or visit my Facebook page at Tutor Me Sempai and tell me all about it there. At the end of this video, I'll be linking my 9th grade playlist in which I cover a lot more topics, so if you're interested in that, make sure you stay tuned. This video is going to have 3 parts, so leave a like, smash subscribe, and let's get started. Finding your x and y intercepts from linear equations is actually going to be a rather simple task. There's just one thing that you really need to know in order to do this, and that's what do these intercepts actually mean? When looking at a linear equation, it might not be that obvious, but try to remember when you're looking at a graph, what do these intercepts actually mean? Now, if you have no idea what a linear equation is or even how to graph them, no worries. I have a bunch of videos on that topic that you can find right up here. Check those out as you need them. But when we're looking at an XY plane like this, we know that in order to be considered an x-intercept, you have to be something on this x-axis. You have to live on this x-axis. And in order for you to be a y-intercept, you have to be something on this y-axis. Now that's nice information and all, but how does that help us when we're looking at a linear equation? Well, think about this. In order to be on the x-axis, in order to be that x-intercept, what does your y value have to be? Well, your y has to be 0, right? You can't be on the x-axis and have a y different from 0. How about the y-axis? In order to be on the y-axis or be a y-intercept, your x value has to be 0. You can't be on this y-axis and your x value be something different. Now that's going to be very crucial because that just means that whenever we're trying to find our intercept, the main thing we have to do for our linear equation is set the other variable to be 0 and then solve for the remaining variable. Or in other words, if you're trying to find your y-intercept, set your x variable to be 0. If you're trying to find your x-intercept, set your y variable to be 0 and then solve for what's left. So let's jump into our first example and do just that. So for our first example, we have the linear equation 2x minus 3y equals negative 10. And we want to find both our x-intercept and our y-intercept. We're going to start with our x-intercept. Now remember, we said if we're trying to find our intercept, we set the other variable equal to what? 0. So for our x-intercept, our y is going to be 0. I recommend you do that automatically so you don't get confused. Now we're going to substitute this y into our equation. So we have this 2x minus 3. Instead of y, we're going to put this 0 here equals negative 10. Now we solve for what variable is left over. Notice we only have an x left over, so we're going to solve for x. And in doing so, we see we have 2x equals, this goes to 0, so equals negative 10, right? And that means that x has to be what? X is going to be, when you divide both sides by 2, a negative 5. So x is negative 5. Our x-intercept is going to be negative 5. And if you want the point, it's going to be negative 5, 0, because remember that y is 0. So this is going to be the point, but our x-intercept is going to be that negative 5. Now we want to find our y-intercept. Where are we intercepting our y-axis? In order to do that, we have to set our x equal to 0. And we're going to do the same exact step. So we're going to substitute this x of 0 into our linear equation. So we're going to have a 2 times 0 minus 3y equals negative 10. Now we get y by itself. So 2 times 0 goes away. So we're going to have a negative 3y equals a negative 10. That means y is going to be 10 over 3. This is where we're going to intercept the y-axis. And our point is going to be 0, 10 over 3. So this is going to be how we find our x-intercept and our y-intercept. Let's practice on one more example. So for our final example of the day, we have negative 4 minus x equals 14 minus 3y. And we want to find our x-intercept and our y-intercept. Now we're going to start with our x-intercept, and in order to do that, the first thing we have to do is set our y equal to 0. Now we're going to plug in this y of 0 into our linear equation, and when we do that, we get this. Now we're going to get x by itself, and to do that, we have to, once again, we're going to get rid of this because that's 0, and we're going to move this 4. So we're going to add both sides by 4, and we're going to be having negative x equals, what's 14 plus 4? That's going to be 18, and that's 0 there. And we have to divide both sides by a -1 or multiply both sides by -1. And that means that we're going to have an x equal to -18. And your point is going to be -18, 0. So if you want the whole point, that's your point. But we're going to intercept the x-axis at x equals -18. Now we're going to do the same thing for our y-intercept. But in order to start, we have to set our x equal to 0. Now substitute that back in, and we get the following. Now we have to solve for y, so let's get y by itself. So we're going to subtract both sides by this 14, and we're going to have a -18 here that goes away, equals a -3y, and we're going to divide both sides by this -3. That means our y, I'm going to write y on this side just so we can have it on the left. What's -18 divided by a -3? That's a +6. So that means that our intercept is going to be y equals 6, but our point is going to be 0, 6. So we intercept our y-axis at 6, but remember, if you want the entire point, you have to put that 0, 6. You need an x and a y coordinate. So I hope you're able to follow along in today's video, and I hope you now know how you can find your x and y intercepts from your linear equations. However, if you have any questions about what you saw today, or even your own homework, remember you can always put in the comment box below, or visit my Facebook page at Tutor Me Sempai and tell me all about it there. If you hadn't done so already, remember to leave that like. It surely helps the channel by letting YouTube know that you found a video helpful. And if you found a video helpful, so can someone else. So leave a like, hit the notification bell, smash the subscribe button, and share this video with a friend. Well, that's all the time I have for today. I'm really hoping this helped your homework. I'm looking forward to seeing you again next week. I'm Courtney. Here's your playlist, and this has been another session of Tutor Me Sempai.